Hi, I'm going to tell you a Reiki story. It's a good one. I love this story. I tell it in my classes. This is about Reiki for a human. It actually was my sister. I know the one prior to this was me. I actually have a lot of clients too, but this, I love this story about my sister. Okay, so my sister and her husband had a design studio in Chicago. I was doing some editing work for them. I'm also an editor and writing coach. This is, oh gosh, this is 20 some years ago. And I went into their office to pick something up, and I saw my sister's hunched over and like dragging her leg. I'm like, what is going on with you? What's wrong? And she said, my back. I pulled my back. She'd fallen. She'd been carrying her saddle. We're both horse people, down the back stairs, and she couldn't sue anybody because she owned the building. So she was going down the back stairs, which are wooden stairs out the back way to go to her garage. And she had a saddle over her arm, and it was winter. And there was a leak in the roof that she knew about or didn't know about. And there was a little patch of ice on the stair. And she hit the ice. And rather than like throw the saddle down and catch herself, no, she saved saved the saddle. And the stair was like, just right in her back, right above this, right in the small of her back or above the small of her back. Oy! And she was really in a lot of pain. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me about this? Let me give you a Reiki session tonight from a distance. Oh, okay, she said. She wasn't really sold on Reiki yet. So that night, I shared my Reiki hands with her from a distance. We made an appointment and she was laying down. And we did the session, and I knew I was going to see her the next day because I was returning work to their office. And I went the next day, and she's still crippled walking around. And I'm like, it doesn't, you don't feel any better? And she said, no, I don't feel any better. I'm like, well, that's crazy because I felt, a strong connection to you. That's really interesting. I said, did you feel anything? And you don't have to feel anything during a session. You may not. And you may not actually feel better for a couple of days. So none of this was too strange. But I said, did you feel anything? Did anything happen during the session? And she said, yes, my one leg was bouncing up and down on the bed. I'm like, what? Like leaping off it. Why? What's going on with your leg? What's going on? What's going on there? And she said, oh, my sister doesn't tell me much, right? I had foot surgery. Of course, she's had like 5 foot surgeries. So I had foot surgery, and it's been bothering me. I said, well, so I will give an aside here now, which is Reiki isn't for, okay, I have this issue, let me fix it. That's not what Reiki is. Reiki is recalibrating your body's own natural healing ability. I don't subscribe to the channeling anything in. It's vibrational, and it's helping your system to recalibrate and strengthen and address whatever's going on. I don't tell it when I share my hands, the healings are going to happen where the healing happens. So here I am with my hands on her back, among other places, and her leg is jumping because she just had foot surgery. I'm like, oh, well, apparently you needed it there more. How's your foot feel? Oh, better? Good. Okay, let's do another session tonight now that your foot's better and see what happens. And so that evening, I shared my Reiki hands with her back again. This is very unusual. I was back in her office again the next day, and I said, how are you feeling? She seemed upright. How are you feeling? And she put, I won't show you because I'll lose my head here. But she put her finger here and, spun around like a little ballerina, just being silly, little dance, completely sound, reinforces their lame or sound. I'm like, isn't that interesting? It's fascinating. First, your body addressed the injury to your foot, the surgery, which was feeling fine. I have other stories about foot surgery. She's had several. And when she finally started using Reiki, they healed like in half the time that the doctor expected and that she had experienced prior. So, but here, the Reiki, it's not a thing. but the Reiki session, the body addressed the injury to the foot, surgery being the injury first. And then we did another session, her back was healed. So, and again, there's no, it might have taken 2 or 3 times. It might have, if she had had broken her back or, fractured, then it might not have helped at all. But in this case, it was an injury, it was a bruise. And she's fine and didn't come back. So I just want to share that story. Reiki, I love Reiki so much. It's so amazing. It is not magic. It's not magic. It's not witchcraft. It's not channeling anything into you. It's supporting and assisting your natural healing ability, which we all have, to varying degrees, in certain circumstances. But I'm going to be sharing more stories with you about humans because a lot of people get Reiki for their animals and they love it and they see the difference, and then they, for some reason, they're worried about getting it for themselves. And I think it's that whole channeling thing that and if any of you are Reiki practitioners who use the channeling, say the channeling thing, I don't mean to offend you. It's just not how I envision it. So there you go. There's another Reiki story, and there's more to come. So that's it. I'm Pam Sorellis of Winged Horse Healing, Reiki for humans and animal communication. And it's wingedhorsehealing.com. See you soon.